Okay, we're live. David, we're live now. I'm positive. I'm doing good. Olga. Yeah, this happened over this last week. We had Hurricane Olga, which was a very powerful hurricane. Just totally destroyed communities across the, South Mississippi, Southern Alabama, in the Panhandle of Pensacola. So me and you, as you know, and Representative Stephen Bryant, we are working on a relief package for these areas that will be released Friday. That will invest, you know, send the money that they need, and then on top of that, we'll invest additionally into the lower income communities in those areas, in their infrastructure and their communications to make sure they not only recover but also get further than they were before this hurricane. Now in MEC, I'm pretty sure our immigration system is more. It's just overall better than in real life, but I would assume that we would still have an immigration problem in MEC. So what I'm going to do as a senator is I'm going to look at the problem and we're going to identify the problem. What's actually happening? Well, what's happening is two things. One, people are so scared that they have to leave their homes to come to a distant country. But also, we have another problem. There are people that are disregarding our laws and crossing the border illegally. So we have to solve both problems. So, with crossing the border illegally, I'm pretty sure we already have a lot of border fence. So I think what we need to do is, if there's any additional problems with that, what we need to do is we need to work with immigrant rights groups, American rights groups, people that support a tough border, and create a common sense, practical solutions that will help everyone involved. Because immigration should help both the immigrants and it should help Americans. And so we have to create a common sense solution. And then with why they're coming over here in the first place. You know, we have a crisis on the border. We have drugs and human trafficking. So what we need to do is we need to work with Mexico and Guatemala and Honduras and Colombia and other countries to crack down on the crime in a humane and practical way. And we also need to work with them to develop their countries, increase funding to develop their schools, develop their roads, develop their communications and their communications industries and thus forth. I think those two things will really solve the problem that we are seeing on the southern border. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with clearing voter rolls of dead voters, of fraud voters, but what we have to be careful of is when those uh, when actual people that were registered to vote are purged from the voter rolls. So what I would do is I'd make sure that there has to be a bipartisan federal commission that overlooks whenever they do anything to the voter rolls, to make sure that they are only removing people that shouldn't be in the voter rolls and not removing one single person that is legally on the voter rolls. And also just about voting in general. But we need to adopt a system of democracy dollars where pretty much we need federally funded campaigns. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. We need to make sure that, so every candidate that's going to be on the ballot that's got enough petitions signed, um, gets a certain amount of money and it's equal. So instead of being elected based off how much money you can raise, you get elected based off your attitude, your policies, and things that are about you, not just how much money you can raise. Because every vote should be equal. You shouldn't be able to buy out more influence. So, um, yeah. Uberfeld, Uber, okay, yes. So, on the issue of guns, there's two main priorities: making sure that people are safe, and on the same time protecting human rights, then legal rights also. So, on keeping people safe, it's about time we enact universal background checks, and not only that, update them on a very least a weekly basis. It's a town hall. Former senator or secretary prevailed actually. Instead, we're having a town hall. Um, no, but you can ask questions as soon as I finish DSG's question. Uberfell, don't add anyone to this chat. Ubi, don't add anyone. Okay, so thank you. So, about guns. So what we have to do is we have to do again two things. Uh, Ubi, stop. Don't add anyone else besides that. Okay. Okay. So what we have to do, I'm just gonna blurt this out quick before everyone. Okay. Infinite, we're having a town hall, so you can ask me questions. Okay, Infinite, I'm having a town hall. Ubi, no, stop. Okay, guns. We need to adapt universal background checks, and at the same time, we have to make sure that no one's right to own a gun is violated. I will not support an assault weapons ban. That's a violation of our constitutional rights and our human rights to safety, to protect ourselves, our physical bodies. And I don't really. I mean, here's the thing: the government couldn't pass a background check. The government has murdered so many people. The government, I mean, should be banned from no fly lists. I mean, you know how many people, you know how many airplanes they've used to kill people. So I don't. The last thing that we need is a well-armed government without a well-armed civilian. Because in reality, the Second Amendment wasn't made so you could go to the range and shoot guns. It wasn't made so you could hunt. It wasn't made for home defense. So those all are important things. It was made for the right to defend yourself against a tyrannical government. In the same way that the founding fathers used their guns in the American Revolution, they wanted to preserve that right. So I'm not advocating to overthrow the government. But if the government ever does become tyrannical, we need to have that right in there so that listen, I'm not saying the people who support gun control are Nazis. Most people who support gun control aren't Nazis. That's a fact. But the Nazis enacted gun registration. Okay, it was all good. They just wanted to know who had a gun. Germany was in a little bit of turmoil. Well, long story short, they seized the guns and then went on to kill 6 million Jews. So yeah, I mean they killed 14 million people in the Holocaust. 6 million of them were Jews. Uh, that's not true. The numbers would have to disagree, Mr. Uberfeld. Numbers don't show that. So, do I have any other questions from the audience? The most important communist I'd have to say is Federal Reserve Chairman Henry Terry. I'd have to say he's the most important communist. And I own OAN, and we ran that essay on him. So, uh, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Infinite, Mr. Infinite, do you have any questions? Yes, yes, you can ask me something. Yeah, this is the town hall. You can ask me anything you want. Well, exactly, and that's exactly the point of having the guns. Because listen, the Nazis should have been overthrown, and if there would have been a well-armed populace, it's very possible they would have been overthrown. So it is true, and that further proves what I was saying. The Nazis took away the guns because they were scared that their tyrannical, infinite. No, stop. Okay, okay, Infinite. You know this is being live streamed right now, right? Infinite, Infinite. You know this is being live streamed right now, right? Infinite. This is being no. Stop! Okay. We're being live streamed right now. Stop. Yeah, that's it. You're getting kicked in. Okay. So Infinite had to be escorted out by security. Secretary Uberfeld, do you have any more questions? No, Infinite, stop. Okay, we're gonna be ending this live stream, but thank y'all for asking me these questions, and thank you, Pensacola, Florida, for having me here in my home city. And a good day.